Like and subscribe. Let's get straight into this. Understand this. If Yahshua was to come back to earth right now, he would be disappointed. He would be frustrated that Hebrew Israelites are calling themselves Christians by the people who murdered and tortured him, started Christianity, the Romans. The Romans started Christianity and murdered and tortured Yahshua or Jesus. And the word Jesus is really pronounced Jesus to show you just how ridiculous this thing is. Now, wearing a cross, which I used to do till I woke the heck up, makes no sense. Would you wear a symbol of the bullet that killed Martin Luther King? If not, why are you wearing a cross? Wake up. Wake up. I know it's hard, but wake up. You're being brainwashed, and you know it. It's one thing to be brainwashed and not know it, and another thing to be brainwashed and know it. And when you're brainwashed and you know it, I don't know what you would call that. Deuteronomy 28 tells you who God's chosen people are. I mean, it's like when Moses left and when he came back, the Hebrew Israelites were worshiping a golden calf. And now it seems like Yahshua has left, and when he comes back, Hebrew Israelites are going to be worshiping the people who tortured and murdered him. And when I say people, I mean people. I mean a Caucasian Jesus. And Caucasians are Neanderthals. If you've been following my posts, my videos, I've left the video over and over and over and over again of Caucasians calling themselves subhumans. They are not Homo sapiens. And the sad thing about this is that some black people don't know the difference between a Homo sapien and a Neanderthal. A Homo sapien is a human being, the highest grade of human being. A Neanderthal is a subhuman, in between Homo sapiens and chimpanzees. Let me tell you something quickly. I do not get upset when I see white people in blackface, because they are not emulating me, they are emulating a primate, which they resemble more so than I do. Homo sapiens, black people, melanated people, we have long legs, a high center of gravity. Caucasians have short legs, a short center of gravity, similar to primates. If you rub the skin back on a primate, they are Caucasian. They're Caucasians. Shave one and you get a Caucasian. Primates have small lips like who? Caucasians. Shave the hair off one and you will see the missing link. Not only that, chimpanzees have black faces. So when a Caucasian puts shoe polish on his face, shoe polish on his face, he has a black face, small lips, just like a chimp, and then the rest of his body is the same color, pale, as a Caucasian, and he has short legs and a predominantly flat butt. So when a Caucasian puts on blackface, why are you getting upset? I don't, because I live in the realms of reality. Now, but this is the point I want to make. Revelation 2:9 and 3:9 explains that Israelis are the worshipers of the synagogue of Satan, which means they are Satan followers. They own the media in the United States of America. So Satan owns the media in the United States of America. This is why I do not watch mainstream media. I get my information off of YouTube from content creators that are honest. It's only common sense if you want the truth. Now, another thing, 9/11 was fake. There is no way that bin Laden was responsible for that. You cannot teach. Can you learn to fly a airplane in 6 months and guide it into a building? Can you do that? I can't. You can't either. So why would you believe this? And then this is even more ridiculous than Columbus discovered America. With all that fire going on, with all those flames, they found one identification card that belonged to one of the guys flying the plane. One identification card. With all that fire, with all that heat, that card went into that building, which was demolished and left a hole, I don't know how many feet deep, but they found an identification card, a driver's license. That is more ridiculous than Columbus discovering America and people were here. That alone tells you that the story is a lie. In the 1941, 1945, a bomber flew into the terminal tower and damaged 2 floors. 2 floors. The Twin Towers were built aircraft proof. So no plane is supposed to hit them and destroy it. Plus, when a building is demolished, it comes straight down. But if it's like they said, the engine gas and the gas from the plane was so hot that it melted the steel beams, that would mean if it melted the steel beam, the beams that are the fire is going to be the hottest right here. And it's going to cause what? It's going to cause that part to fall off because these beams are melted. They're going to melt first. The fire is not going to get hotter as it gets to the bottom and cause the building to come straight down. People, are you nuts to believe this? And guess what? People died. People died. A lot of people died. A lot of people died, and a lot of people in that building died. And that was an inside job. That was an inside job. I don't know who did that. I got a good idea who did that. But those people who died in that building were killed by, had to have been killed by, let's just put it this way. America, some, I don't know what Americans that were, but they knew it, but they knew this was going to happen. And I'm going to tell you this. Israel has been attacking and eliminating, deleting, whatever you want to call it, the Palestinians for decades and breaking the peace agreement. Breaking the peace agreement. They have been prosecuted by the United Nations. There are countries all over the world that are calling Israel out on this. So what does Israel do to get rid of the rest of the Palestinians? They changed their names to Hamas. They're calling them Hamas now, but they're bombing Palestinians. And who the heck is Hamas? I, for one, don't know. I still don't know who the Taliban is and all these other names of these people that were running around in the Middle East when we were over there fighting and doing whatever. There were so many different groups, I couldn't keep up with it. Not only could I not keep up with it, I didn't know who was responsible for doing what. But one thing I do know for sure is a country like the United States that has profited off of slavery and colonization, which is the victimizing of people of other countries, is not going over there and flipping the script and helping them. Any place the United States send the military is going to be complimentary of what it did to build this country up. Slavery and colonization. United States isn't spreading democracy, and it's a plutocracy anyway. From day one, if you were not a rich white male landowner, you could not vote. And your vote doesn't mean much now anyway, because the Electoral College decides who's going to be president. And who the heck is the Electoral College? And we talk about a deficit. How can the United States have a deficit? It makes no sense. The United States prints money, gives it to the Federal Reserve System, which is privately owned, and then they loan the money back to the United States at an interest. Why doesn't, that's just giving away money. But see, you got to blame Caucasians for this ridiculousness because they allow it to happen. And what do they get? Reagan say trickle down. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. When all the United States has to do is loan money to the banks, and when the banks pay back the interest on the money that they borrow from the government can use that money to fund schools, police, fire stations, repair bridges, fix streets, and we wouldn't even have to pay taxes. All we have to do is pay the interest on the money we borrow. You see, everybody in the United States that pays taxes has been colonized. Has been colonized. But the thing I want to talk to people I want to address right now is the puppets. If the United States had the ability to do what Germans did to fake Jews, they would go after the rich black people first. They're going to go after the rich black people first because you are of value to poor white people. You have what they want. If it's some kind of police takeover, they want to put their headquarters in your mansion. They want to put their headquarters in your mansion. It's the same thing that Germany did to the sellout fake Jews. They thought they were cool, didn't leave. Next thing you know, the Gestapo's at their house, and they're in a concentration camp. There is no honor among thieves. There's no honor among thieves. And you know, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it at that. A long time ago, when warring nations wanted to have peace, they would send their daughters over to marry someone's son, another prince or whatever, second in line to king, to marry that person's daughter. And what's interesting is that Bill Clinton's daughter married a fake Jew, and so did Trump's daughter marry a fake Jew. Is this some type of marriage thing similar to what happened back in the day? Because the United States, we give Israel $2.6 billion a year, and they have a $3.6 billion surplus. Why are we giving them money and we have a deficit? Makes no sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. Well, like I said, the next, can't even call it a war. The next altercation is going to be about taking people's souls. It's not going to be World War III. It's going to be taking people's souls. The time is now. The time is here. But Hebrew Israelites, if you're calling yourself African American, I suggest you open the Bible, read it, and make a change. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.